Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Matthew here with Crescent Vale. We are taking a look at a Michael Jordan Top Stadium Club Royal Court insert. One of the most beautiful cards, I personally believe, to be in existence of Michael Jordan. It's one of the top inserts for me. There is probably other ones that, you have your autographs, your, high-end inserts that are even more rare than this. But for I almost say on the average, the higher end average consumer collector, this is pretty paramount for me. I believe I bought it for in between $50 and $100, and it just wow, it will only increase in value. I almost don't want to sell it. I love it that much. There is a bit of imperfections in the top right corner. There's nothing on the back. One of the back corners as well has has some imperfections. So it's not a perfect card, but it's perfect to me. It's not going to get a 10. then we almost have to deal with what score do we give it. Just love this card so much, and we might as well just dive right into. I believe it's almost a surface related issue on the front top right. So let's just dive into what I'm seeing and what could have caused this chipping, I believe is the word you could call it. And it's where, I want to see if essentially the surface has been, I would like to think, I don't want to say damaged, but there is definitely, you can clearly see here, there is maybe discoloration is the right word. It's, because I don't know if I see, and I'll get out a jeweler eye in a second, see if I see like damage on the card. It almost feels like you can see part of the reflective pattern, but I don't know if that's because some of the card has like worn off. You can see it really good there. So it's kind of the darkness is the design, and then there's a bit of this wear to the card. And I'm going to put that down for our surface related issue. We'll just kind of continue to look at the surface of this card and see what we think about it. It's just such a beautiful card, such an amazing design, the Royal Court design from Stadium Club. There's times where Topps really hit the nail on the head. And this is, for me, one of those standout, amazing moments that we'll get back to the corner, because it almost feels like the corner has a bit of the same wear down there too. And so I've cross-referenced this, and I haven't seen other cards have the same related issue. And I'm trying to see if there is like paper peel or if this is just wear on the card. And feel free to comment below if you've seen this before on any of these cards. It might not be MJ, it might be somebody else. And you say to yourself, like, yeah, actually, I have seen that same issue on another one of these Royal Court insert cards. So we're just taking a look at the surface, and essentially that surface area. It's you can definitely see it with without even having to zoom in. So I call it like naked eye. You can kind of see imperfections. But yeah, the next question is, okay, there is clear wear on the surface. It only makes up a small percentage of the entire front and back of card, but clearly noticeable. So the next question is, what do we assign the surface of this card, knowing that we have that? And it is tough to essentially grade, because I've not seen it to cross-reference it, and that makes it a little harder. I'm trying to take into consideration the overall surface of the card, but at the same time, it is not easy without me being able to properly cross-reference it and see it in other cards. I already know the corner is going to get one of these corners. Two corners are probably going to get pretty low scores. And I'm trying to always be like honest with myself and never give it too high of grades. If I already haven't given the disclaimer, quick disclaimer, the cards that we grade, essentially is my best assessment of a raw card that we're selling raw. We're going to put it in a Zion custom slab, add a custom label. The scores that we provide are not guaranteed to cross over at other grading companies at those scores. And the scores that we provide are not guaranteed to increase the value of the card monetarily. So, quick disclaimer. Now back to the surface, I'm going to give it a 7.5 because I'm trying to think of like how I've seen other cards graded and when they have similar surface issues. And you know what? That's probably going to be the best I really can assess is a 7.5 for the card. Because overall, a lot of it's perfect. But I'm not giving it just based on percentage of, you could say, perfection, but more when there is an imperfection, how much is it being caused? And this corner down here is we're doing corners next right now. It's just a real interesting, it's almost like that could be considered part of the surface. The corner itself is pretty sharp. So it's like whenever I think to myself, like, is this, you can kind of see even has the reflective, is that the Royal Court kind of logo? So it's not the surface or the corner specifically is not showing damage. It's just got a bit of that surface related issue. So the corner on that one's, I would say, pretty sharp. This corner is very sharp. Let's see this one, at least on the front side of the card. So corners are probably leaning towards an 8. Yeah, there is kind of clear wear there. I think this is my most problematic corner. And it could even, you could say, is that a 7.5, in between a 7.5 and 8. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say 7.5 for the corners. We'll take a look at the edges next. See if we see any issues along the edges. Pretty clean along the edges, which is always nice. Take a look at the front and back of the card. The nice thing about this is you can kind of see a little bit there. See a little bit here. So on the 8.5 for me on the edges right now. A little bit more on the top, closer to an 8. Probably going with an 8 on the edges for this card. And we'll put it back in a penny sleeve to take a look at the centering. And the front doesn't have too many anchor points for me to assess the centering as much as I would like. You can kind of see the distance from left to right here, which I'll be able to quickly assess and see. And it felt pretty similar. We can double check though. A little bit more, a little bit, as far as the right, I think it was 3 millimeters and the bottom was closer to 4. Now that, I don't know if I can really use, I can use the bottom, and again, that looks like another 4. We can use the letters at the top to see the anchor point at the top. It looks like 3. That's correct. I'm getting good. My eye's getting pretty good. I can tell how many almost millimeters these are away from the edge. So imperfections on the centering, I could give that a 8.5. 8.5 for centering. Centering, 8.5. So we have 2 7.5s and 8. So I'm going to overall give it a 2 7.5s, so 1 8.5. That would equal an 8. So it's in between a 7.5 and an 8. I think an 8 will be the score that I assess it. And feel free to disagree in the comments if you feel like other grading companies would be more harsh. Critical, they may not. It may go higher. There is always that. Now, what will be interesting is once we cross-reference it with Grok and AI assessment tool, we'll see what it gives it. And then we'll be able to kind of double-check that too. Looking forward to it. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch.